in my mind, I'm like, I need to be with her all day. And meanwhile, in her mind, she's like, I don't need to see you until it's time to eat.
As a young male, this is what goes through our mind.
Get it.
Is there a world, Greg, a guy might date your daughter to hang out with you?
What is something that you feel like you had a strong opinion about that you feel like you fully changed your mind on?
Was there anything cooler than when you got your first raise and you were like,
Yes, man.
oh, I hope those mistakes happen while they're still under our roof. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Compton. This is Greg. Is Carol home?
Dude, you're just outside doing yard work while they pull in the driveway. Because
you're home already? I lost track of time. We're all in such a hurry to like go to the next thing. Don't apply those standards to your own kids. I could sit here and talk about all the things that I've done wrong in parenting all day. So this is actually a great pod for me to get on.
Papa Team 6, you just heard Greg Olsen. We had Greg Olsen on For the Dads this week. We are happy you're here. PT6, MT6, ST6, all the sickos out there. This is going to be a phenomenal episode. Greg Olsen was in town for Tight End U. So we had about a 45-minute scheduled interview for him this morning. When you're listening to him, it was the AM. He had to get out to a golf tournament with George Kittle and the boys. We pressed him, and I think we got what, Chef? Did we get an hour out of him?
Yeah, we got a full hour.
He had a fun time. We talked dad life. He's got twins. He's got his oldest is going to be a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
He's got twins. One that's a girl. She's 13 years old. She was out here with them. He talks about the strategy in the game of, does she like being out here with me? Is she comfortable with me around her? Does she think I'm cool? We dive into so much girl dad talk, sports dad talk. You're going to absolutely love Greg Olsen, but we managed to get him in here for about an hour.
Yeah, it was honestly really good. It flew by so fast because of how much, and he even talked about it after we wrapped. He was like, man, wasn't expecting to talk that easily about my kids.
We had to get him going in a couple.
Yeah.
Because he'll generalize. We're like, tell us about a situation, man.
Give us the detail.
Yeah.
Dive in there. Yeah. But then once he like truly realized, this is really just kind of shooting the shit.
This is therapy for the dads.
And that's what he said outside.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. He said that almost felt therapeutic.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't want to seem like I have it all figured out. I'm like, that's the thing, bro. None of us have this shit figured out. All of Papa Team 6 knows this isn't some expert pod. It's just talking to some dads, just talking dad life, mostly about failures and our shortcomings. And we just try to laugh about it.
Yes.
Some serious, some we tear up.
And he apologized too. He said, I feel, but this was after we wrapped. I feel bad because like, honestly, whenever I talk about myself as a dad, it's usually just me fucking up, man. I'm always fucking up as a dad. And we're like, welcome to the show. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the big leagues. But dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Hearing about him talk, because it's just him and his 13-year-old daughter out here in Nashville for Tight End U. And then hearing him talk about like, we're like, hey, when do we got to be prepared? Like, when do they start like not liking you?
Yeah.
When does it like you start to put your foot in your mouth when you should be listening to your wife? The middle school drama, you were asking about the middle school drama.
Yeah.
When did you give them their first phone? How did that go down? How are the rules and boundaries around the phone? Now that she's 13, getting older, what's it like having her twin brother and her older brother when they have friends over? Knowing that you've coached these athletes, like what's the entire dynamic like? Are you prepared for when she gets into dating life? How's that going to go?
Crazy the roster that he has now that I'm thinking about his family dynamics of he has both boy and girl. He's got 2 boys, but he's got both boy and girl and twins. He's got a set of twins as well. So he really was all encompassing as far as I know the PT sickos in the comments have been, get a boy dad on. Hey, we get write-ins all the time. I got twins and we're always sitting here going, oh my gosh, what would having twins be like? We didn't even really go into the twin thing.
Yeah, because we knew we were short on time.
Yeah.
Like we knew when we got here, your boy was fashionably late. You'll see that at the top of the episode, was doing kid stuff at home.
As we all are.
But we were short on time because he had to get out to Troubadour to golf. So it was like, man, Greg could easily, again, we said it with our dads a couple weeks ago, but he could be a 3-hour pod where you're just talking shop because he has a plethora of experience now.
Yeah.
Knowing that his youngest His daughter, the twin boy and girl, are 13, and his oldest is going to be a freshman in high school. And Greg also, if you guys want to consume more dad talk or sports dad talk, he has a channel called Youth Inc. Sports.
Yes.
Awesome follow. Go subscribe to his channel. They have vlogs of him coaching on game day, all things revolving around youth sports, essentially.
Yes. And for our we'll look into it section this week, immediately after the podcast, he was bringing up his channels, talking about this show. And
we got to get a collaboration going.
Yes, and we were teasing that, and his eyes didn't like pop out of their sockets, but he was like, "Yeah, like that's a no-brainer."
His eyes didn't pop out of his sockets because we had a fun little night before at the concert. With Taylor Swift shutting it down.
I said that in a way of,
and we were having some good convos to where I know my man was operating on E when he walked in the door, as was I.
And I said that in a way of, in case Greg is listening to this, that we did go like, and he was like, "Yeah, y'all come and we're going to do a vlog." He's like, I never said that.
No, he'd be fired up. He'd love that, man.
He was juiced. He was juiced.
Yeah, but it is awesome. You're going to enjoy it. We had fan questions. You guys who shot in questions on Instagram, I believe a lot of them came in.
Yeah.
We get those answered with dad hacks, stuff. We're cracking cold ones too. We hit some segments, but a lot of this was just around us, Pepper and Greg with, brother, tell us what's to come now that his daughter's 13. We're both, obviously, Sherm and I, we're girl dads. We did get into some good boy dad stuff and some sports talk and everything else.
Yeah.
But this is a fun one. You guys are going to enjoy it. Make sure you are watching right now. Subscribe, leave comments, follow our channels, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your pods, wherever you're listening right now, whether you're in your truck, your vehicle, at work, at home, sitting on the couch with your wife. Make sure you're all subscribed to this channel and leave comments along the way.
Take out the trash.
Take out the trash, man. Enjoy this interview with Greg Olsen.
No, I'll tell you what, no one tells you. I've been coming to TEU now for 6 years, and I got to come with my daughter. She's 13, which was an awesome daddy-daughter trip. I'll tell you what, though, like, no one tells you how hard single parenting a 13-year-old daughter when you actually, like, and then I have some things I need to do, you know? Like, I was stressed. Like, should I be with her all the time? Should I never be with her? Does she want me with her? Does she not want me with her?
You're talking about just here in Nashville.
I'm just talking about these last 2 days. Like, I don't have, like, my wife's not here to, like, take her. Like, I'm the only human being here responsible for her, but, like, she's not a baby anymore. Does she need me all day? Because in my mind, I'm like, I need to be with her all day. And meanwhile, in her mind, she's like, I don't need to see you until it's time to eat. You know what I mean? So I don't know, where is that middle ground? I'll tell you what, it's been a 48 hours of learning for me.
How often has it just been you two on the road?
Rarely.
So when was the last time? So she's 13 now.
She's 13 now. I bet you maybe within the last year or two, she came. I took her for her birthday to LA for one of my Rams games. So it was just the two of us. Different environment, like not a lot of social requirements, right? I'm out there for my game. I'm broadcasting. I'm going to meetings. She's hanging in the hotel room, and then she's sitting in the booth while I call it. So not as much like socializing, dinners, Taylor Swift concerts, TEU, football practice, like different. Just a different vibe. But I feel like I passed. I feel like I did a really good job single parenting for 20.
Is she your oldest?
No, she's my twin. She's technically tied for youngest. I have a 15-year-old. I have a 15-year-old son and 13-year-old twins. My boy twin, TJ, is like a minute and a half older than her. So I guess technically she's the youngest, but I just say they like tied.
Yeah.
It was just who got grabbed out first.
In your brain, as a girl dad, what makes you feel like it was a successful trip? When you observe your daughter,
that's a great question.
You're telling us, Shaq, I think it went well. And I'm like, okay, for the girl dads out there, what's actually tipping you off to be like, I think she had a good time?
I think lots of photos, lots of pictures that she posts. That's obviously a huge deal with these teenage boys and girls, but specifically the teenage girls. Great experiences. Went to bed last night very happy. Got a big hug, got smiles, have not had any like teenage girl sass, drama, eye rolls. Like she's been happy. She's been appreciative. We've had good experiences together. I'll take that as a win. Like It doesn't need to be a lot. Like you just got to go home on top and you'll just take it. All dads get that. Like you're not looking to be mom because you never will be mom, but just don't be a disaster. Yeah. And I think it's a win.
But you have the opportunity to bring her in the same atmosphere as Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so I'm a hero. Just
like that's a massive win.
Yeah, I mean, again, the bar I'm crossing was not overly difficult. I brought her to Nashville. Right, I brought her to Nashville. She got to get all dressed up cute and go to 2 nights of fun parties. And the last one, she got to watch Taylor Swift sing with Lainey Wilson from the front row. Like, how much did I do, or how much did I just pick a great week? Right, I didn't take her.
Yeah, but still, like. Massive win.
It's a huge win.
And hanging out with dad led to that.
Exactly.
Like you are the driving force.
I'm hoping she connects when I hang with dad. We do cool shit. I'm hoping that connection gets like reinforced.
Yeah. And we've all been young sons just watching our parents. Like I'd imagine her seeing you from afar too. Like just seeing like all the relationships you have. Like she's just I'm sure she knows like, yo, my dad's a badass.
Yeah.
I hope my boys think that because I have that conversation with my wife all the time. Like, if I have one regret about my career, is I wish I played a little bit longer or had the kids a little bit earlier. That especially the boys, were older and like experienced. I retired; they were probably 6, 5. They were
decent,
young,
though.
Yeah, decent. But like, how sick would it be if like your 15-year-old son? Now I would have had to play forever, but or just knocked up my wife in college. Either way, but. How fun would it have been if you brought like your teenage boys like to football and to the locker room and they're walking out the gym after, walking out of the stadium after you go for 120 and it's like they get to go to school, but they're in 7th grade.
Yeah. We can't all be Phillip Rivers.
No, fair. But like the boys, I remind them all the time. I'm like, you realize like, I know the dad of now where like, I can't run in the backyard without the fear of blowing out my Achilles, but like, don't get it twisted now. Back in the day, like I could go. And you're like, no, you were never fast. I'm like,
there's too much tape out there.
Too much tape. Like pull it up. I don't care about that for my daughter. Like I don't need her to think her dad. I need her to think that her dad loves her more than any guy on this earth will ever love her. And no matter how old she gets, she's going to have to just deal with like, I'm going to give you a hug and I'm going to ask you to hold my hand and we're going to take a picture together. And I know one day I'm going to embarrass you. I probably already am, but too bad.
Yeah.
As a non ex NFL athlete, it actually makes me feel so good that you face the struggle of not being cool to your kids. Like that, because I know Will has brought up multiple times Rue's growing up so fast. And he's like, when's the last time she's going to want to hold my hand? When's the last time she's going to want me to pick her up?
There we go. We got to ask him that.
Yes, dude. Like,
it's hard.
So 11-month-old daughter, Scarlett, she's about to turn 1 year on July 3rd.
Sick.
And how old are you?
She's a Patriot.
Yeah,
she's a Patriot.
Yeah, she's a Patriot.
Pre-firecracker baby.
Yeah. Scotty's 19 months and Rue just turned 4 in April.
Yeah, you guys are in the girl. The boys are great. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, all the kids are awesome in their own rights and whatnot. But like, there's something people tell you and you don't really know until you do it. Like, there's something different about a dad and a daughter relationship.
Yeah.
It's just different. And I don't know why. I don't know the reasons behind it, but like, it's just different.
Put us on game.
Yeah, we need things.
All right, I don't have any of the answers, but I'll answer the best.
Right, you have experience.
I have experience.
You might not have answers.
Screwing everything up. So fire away.
Yeah. When does it start? When do things start to shift? Like from you, like, because right now Rue's 4, so I'm a superhero. Like they're obsessed with you. Yeah. I'm putting 10 kisses in the hand every day. We have to do this entire monologue back and forth before I leave the house. But when does that start to shift to where, because you, as dads, like as guys, like we care so much about what our daughters think.
Yeah.
And when I'm just wondering, like, when it starts to take a turn for like, man, I kind of don't know what's going on in her head right now. Like, am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, does she think I'm
like
still?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard, I don't know if I have like a firm number. I will tell you at 13, it's everything now is just a little bit different. You know, when they're 3, 4, you're picking them up, you're holding their hand. They want to, in the mornings, they wake up and they want to get in bed with you and they lay, and like, you don't even think about it. They're your little baby, and it's no different if it was your boys or your girls. It's all the same, right? Like, you'd walk into their room unannounced and never even, those days are over. I would say having a little bit of like boundary set and just having some awareness as a dad that sometimes mom needs to be the tip of the spear. Mom needs to go check on her, getting ready for bed. I would say like in our house probably started like 10, 12.
Yeah.
Like
where you're coming downstairs and you're like, hey, when the did this happen?
Yeah. Yeah. So like maybe like 10, like they're in 5th grade. Now they're into like getting close to middle school. Like things are a little bit different. Their bodies are changing. Their interests are changing. But like I remember vividly one day, like having a realization being like, I can't just keep like walking in her bedroom. Like as much as it's like, oh, it's my daughter. I'm going to go check on her before bed. It's like, can dad come in? Hold on. Can dad like, and I didn't grow up with sisters. I grew up in a house of all boys where like every room was just left open. People changed in the kitchen. People walked around and it was a locker room in our house. My poor mother, a husband who was a high school football coach, and 3 boys. Like it was a wild experience. There was no boundaries. We are now like fully into boundary mode. Not only like dad, daughter stuff, but like brothers, friends. We have a sleepover tonight. When they were 6, it was cute because all the boys and girls, they were friends at school. They'd run around. Yeah. It's not cute anymore. They're 13.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden your brothers have 5 teenage boys over the house. Well, guess what? Talbot's going to, my daughter's name's Talbot. Talbot's going to grandma and grandpa. Like it's just different.
Yeah.
Even now sharing a hotel room here in Nashville. Like, okay, you go shower, change, do your stuff. Daddy will sit out here in the other like little side room. Yeah. Let me know when you're done. But then I need you to either like go to your friend's room or go out in the other area and I'll go shower and get dressed. Obviously with the boys, when I'm on the road with the boys or at a baseball tournament for 2 weeks with the boys,
just the boys.
We're just with the boys. So again, I think it is though, all joking aside, I do think it's good for them to understand like privacy and boundaries and the way they look at themselves and the way they value them. Like, I do think those are valuable lessons that you can have in your house that then you hope they take out when they're older and they're, doing whatever they're doing. Like they need to learn that like, it's okay to have some self-respect. And I don't know, we're figuring all this girl stuff out as we go, but it's awesome.
Can I ask, as far as Scarlett getting older, the thing I worry about the most is the drama at school with friends.
Yeah.
Like girl friendship relationships, because I know nothing about it as growing up in a house with all boys. Is it something where you kind of take a back seat, and if she invites you in and gives you trust to like listen and deal with stuff, how do you deal with?
You lean on mom, like
mom.
Hey,
Mom's for sure tip of the spear.
Yeah,
mom is much more in tune with. Mom gets much better like car ride home from school, especially from my daughter. The boys tell you nothing. You know how boys are. Like, how was school? Good.
Yeah.
How was practice? Good. Okay. They could have gotten in 3 fights and gotten expelled, and like you would never know.
Yeah. It was good, Dad.
My daughter, the girls tell you a lot more, so that's how we know most of the scoop in school. But she's really good at being open with my wife. She's very honest with her. She knows when there's girl drama. She knows if boys like her. She knows who her crush is. She knows, like, my wife gets all of that information. She picks and chooses what she tells me, my daughter meaning. So I get debriefed from mom. And some of the times when I get debriefed from my wife, it's like, hey, just keep that between us. Like, that's our conversation. And other times I'll go follow up and have like a conversation in the car or driving to a practice or school with her. But as you guys know, like the relationships, especially at this age, teenage girls, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of new thoughts, a lot of new impulses. Social media is a big thing. Like,
oh God,
friends posted, who got invited to a party. But then the people, back in our day, like you had a party, you invited who you wanted. And unless somebody told everyone Monday in school, nobody really knew who was there.
Yeah.
Those days are over. You know who was there, how long they were there, who they took a picture with, what they were wearing. Every
what
detail.
Cool things were there.
Everything.
Yeah.
So there's no secrets anymore. So, there's feelings that are hurt. There's kids that feel left out. And there's definitely more of that with the girls than we feel, and at least in our house, than with the boys. Talbot's not a huge drama person. She doesn't like it. She doesn't really encourage it. We try to continue to push, like, don't get involved in all of that stuff. Like, just let it go. But Yeah. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Some of the greatest things about raising a daughter that are so easy are the really big challenges of raising two sons. And then on the flip side, some of the easy things about the boys, and they get into a fight with their buddy by Monday, just like the rest of us. It's like it never happened. With the girls, it's like 4 weeks of conversation and parents and talking and how are we going to work through this? I'm like, they're in 7th grade. They're worked through it. It's over. So there's good and bad and challenges and ease with both of them. But that's the magic of it all. Like that's the fun of it all. And especially for me, my wife grew up with only a sister. So like girl households is all she knows.
Yeah.
So I'm really like the man left out. I'm literally experiencing all these things in real time as a dude who's only known boy locker rooms and boy households. And my wife's like, you got a lot to learn. And I'm like, yes, I do. And I'm here to learn it. And if I just, please don't let me screw it up.
And like, not only you grew up around boys and the locker room stuff and everything else, but you're also a dad who really cares. Like all the youth sports you do, as much as a family man you are, I'm sure there's a lot of career balance issues that go on, but caring so much. What is like a dad loss you've had where you've gotten the tea from mom, and with the boys, you almost know how to walk in and kind of address the room or kind of just be the guy for them. But as a dad, mom tells you some tea. I'm almost putting it in my shoes. I would almost be curious, like, man, how can I work my way into a conversation with my daughter? Even though my wife's saying I need to like, this is between you and me. Yeah. But daughter comes down for breakfast. You're trying to find your way into that conversation. What's been like a dad loss you've had in the realm of like sticking your foot in your mouth?
Yeah. So that's a great question. And it's so true because I don't like letting things linger. Like I don't like letting things fester and linger. And I'm a big believer, like, let's nip it in the bud now. Head on, direct communication. And whether we ever, whether it was you and I or me and my sons or whoever, like you're going to know exactly where I stand. We're going to get to the root of what the issue is. And then we can move on. And it's addressed and we don't need to continue to let it kind of carry forward. So with the boys, very direct issue at school, issue with a friend, a grade on a paper, how I think they're, working for their sports teams or the game, whatever the different parenting thing is. Like I just go at them like right in the moment. And that's just the way it is. Like we're going to have a man-to-man talk. We're going to address it. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, tell you why I think you're doing good, bad, in between, and move on. When something's going on with my daughter, typically my wife's like the first to know like what the issue is, or I want to jump immediately right in and be like, let's just address it right this second. And she's like, now is not the time. I'm like, now is always the time. Why? She's like, we'll talk about it in the morning. And I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. You know what I mean? Like my brain doesn't work like that. Like I'll be running through scenarios in my brain all night. We need to address this right now.
You can't tell me my daughter's struggling and expect me to just not.
Like, well, I'll tell you when you get home. I'm like, what? No, you need to call me immediately and tell me what's going on. Like that's hard for me. That is just, I'm not a procrastinator in that world because I'm like mental, and the longer it lingers, I almost manifest that it's something even worse in my own brain. And so that's why I need to just like address it right now in the moment, no matter how good or bad it is. Let's have this conversation, address how we're going to move forward, and we all can move on. That's not always the right path. That's not always the right path for my boys. It's not always the right path for my marriage. It's not always the right path with my daughter. So that's something that my wife's really good at, like knowing when's the time to go into it and when's the time to just like give them some space and like let them catch their breath, and we'll circle back to it in the morning or tonight at dinner or when we're just alone in the car. Like I want to have the conversation in the middle of the ball. I'm like, I don't care. Let's do it right now. And she's like, this is not the time. And I'm like, you're right. But I've never known waiting for the time. Like to me, everything's the right time. So I have to improve a little bit in like my self-awareness about that kind of stuff. And I'm trying. Fortunately, my wife, her social intelligence and emotional intelligence is a lot of the times a lot better than mine.
Are you able to talk about a situation that you just royally messed up?
Oh, I mess up a lot. Yeah.
Any that stand out that you're like, this is exactly what the wife was telling
me. A lot of mine, unfortunately and fortunately, revolve around like sports. You guys know, obviously do a lot of the stuff with the youth sports and we talk about it. And I'm the first to raise my hand and be like, I'm the one out here like having these conversations with people and like we're offering all this advice, but I'm like the first one to be like 99% of this advice should be adhered to by me. You know what I mean? Like
if we're not experts.
No, I do not pretend. I'm like the interviewer for myself. I always joke like it's like I'm going through like my own like psychology, whatever.
You go through your own therapy.
My own like therapy. And then if you want to like listen in and try to gain some stuff, great. But like I'm almost doing it more because I keep fucking everything up. So that's just kind of the reality of it. So I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to not be so hard, but a lot of it is typically probably through the sports stuff. Like it's hard for me to understand how anyone would do things different, like other than how I did it. Like I only know doing things obsessive and like full tilt and all in. And the notion that other people don't necessarily always want to do that is hard for me to wrap my head around at times, even my own kids. So that's been something I'm trying to improve on. Like just because it was the way I did it doesn't mean it's healthy and doesn't mean it's the way I should want my kids to do it. But in the heat of moments, it's hard for me to disconnect those two things.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something that you feel like you had a strong opinion about? Could be a couple years ago, could be a few years ago that you feel like you fully changed your mind on.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind is like, there's no fighting like social media, especially with the teenagers, right? And their interest and willingness to share photos and share every aspect of what they're doing. I think if you would ask me as a young dad with a 2 or 3 year old on the plane, it's like, we are not going to be the tablet parents. We are not going to be the parents who kids have phones. And there's no reason a 13-year-old girl needs to have Instagram and, whatever. And I think as you start entering, I think oftentimes you're the biggest critic of things that you've yet to experience and you've yet to really enter that world and then you go, okay, like at some point these kids are going to get it, right? At some point they're going to have social media and they're going to have phones. I think the big realization that we've had in our family is like, wouldn't you rather them go through all of those things when they're still home with you, right? Like where hopefully they don't post anything inappropriate, but things happen. Like, right. I hope those mistakes happen while they're still under our roof. I hope, because what you see a lot of is you reject it, you reject it, you reject it. Well, it's coming at some point when you're no longer in charge, right? They're no longer under your roof. And then sometimes the lid pops off. So like social media and that stuff, like our kids have it and we put limits on it. We have timers. We're pretty adamant about like what they're allowed to share, the pictures, but like, we're not going to sit here and lie to ourselves. My teenage daughter is going to send 500 pictures and snaps to her friends of last night's party and pictures and what she's wearing. Like it's going to happen. Do I love it? No. Do I love what girls wear these days? I always joke, my life has turned into my daughter wears what I wish my wife would wear and my wife wears what I wish my daughter would wear. And that's like the perfect way to summarize like my current situation in life. But like, if you teach them boundaries and you teach them morals and values and self-respect, which obviously is a huge one for all the kids, the realities of the world are going to be out there no matter how much you try to fight them. You're not going to fight other people's battles. You're not going to change other people's household rules. You got to worry about your kids and what you control, but they're going to enter the real world whether you like it or not. And you can't control all of those aspects.
Our audience, we call Papa Team 6, and then there's PT Sickos, and then you have Mama Team 6, Milk Team 6. They know that Will and I constantly say we're not experts on the show. Like no part of us coming on here and talking do we ever say, hey, this is the way to do it. This is blah, blah, blah. So I think a lot of listeners have been asking Will and I questions that involve like their teenage kids that we have no experience on. Yeah. What, if you don't mind, like how old were your kids when you allowed them to have their first smartphone and like what did that transition look like?
Yeah. I think that's a great question because just for context on Greg, this is a perfect example of like Greg. Yesterday we were at Tight End U Tight End U's got some more entertainment value to it than it has in years past. Hearing Greg talk about Tight End U with all the music and the people and the cameras, hearing Bruce Kittle talk about Tight End U, like these guys are like old souls that love just ball. Yeah. They're like, when we going to get to the ball? Greg's like, I just hope these next 3 hours, all the tight ends we have here, I just hope they get something out of us playing football. Yeah. So when you ask that question, I think it's an awesome question because even when you're allowing them to do this, I feel like Greg's a guy that's like, oh man, he was very resistant to all of this stuff that came.
Oh, for sure.
My greatest strength in my career is probably my greatest weakness as a real human, just as a parent, a person, a friend, all that. I am very singularly focused on what I deem at the time as being the most important thing. Right? Like, keep the main thing, all the cliches from our ball. Like that was my entire existence. Yeah. Like vacation was about, if I didn't get my training and all that stuff done, there was no vacation. I was no fun. I was not going to go hang at the pool, throw the kids up in the air. Yeah. It was just the way I was wired. Yeah. So the problem with that, it was very good to play in the NFL for a long time because there was never a question of, are you going to be ready? Well, what do you mean? That was almost like a given.
You stay ready.
I was ready at all times. Now, whether I ended up being good enough in the long run and as you get older, it was not for the lack of effort. Yeah. It just, the road ends one day.
And you didn't care what anybody else was doing. It's like, yeah, they might do that. I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to figure it out.
There was nothing in the world. When it was time for me to get what I had to get done, there was nothing. I mean, let's take family, my kids and all that. There was nothing in the world more important than my training, than my career, than my goals and all that. Nothing. Yeah. When I got married and had kids, obviously some of those goals were challenged, and that's a whole separate conversation we can have. But as far as like these rules in the house, I was a big believer in like, I expected our 10-year-old kids, like, well, what do you want to do? Like, let's get up every day with a purpose of like what we're going to achieve and how are we going to get there? And you say you want to make this team and you say you want to play, whatever it was. And I think back and I was like, what am I talking about? They're in fourth grade. They're in fourth grade. I'm looking at it through the lens of a 41-year-old man who like understands the value of like objectives and goal orientation and processes and systems and blah, 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 blah. They're in fourth grade. You know what they want to do? They want to come home from school. They want to eat a bag of chips. Yeah. They want to sit on their phones, send a couple snaps. They want to go do their homework. If we let them play video games, we don't let them play video games on the weekdays. And then they'll go to whatever their team practice is that night. We'll come home. They'll fight us to go to bed and we'll get up in the morning and we'll do it all over again. That's what but you only know what you know. I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't want to come home from school and get extra swings? Don't you want to be good? Yeah, Dad, I want to be good. Well, this is what it means being good. And my wife's like, they're 10. I'm like, you're 100% right. So like that I've gotten a little bit better, but like the way I approached everything has now, I'm trying to like dial it back that it's not how I always approach parenting, right? Like let them go out and do their thing. Even if it's not what I think they should be doing in the moment, which is hard for me to bite my tongue, I gotta let them. I gotta let them go out there and make the wrong move, not train, not do their homework in time, go out with their friends, like go be kids and experience life when the repercussions of the failure is not really that big of a deal. Yeah. Because you're in 7th grade. Yeah. Now's the time to make all those mistakes. Now's all those times to have trial and error. In the beginning of parenting, and even at times now, the best way I'd probably sum it up is, in my mind, I was like, if you just listen to me, I can probably prevent all the error, right? Like I could probably prevent you from making all the mistakes. As I've parented more, the lessons are better when they experience it for themselves versus anything that we tell them. Yeah. We could tell them something's bad for them or good for them until they experience it for themselves in a good or a bad experience. It's not reinforced as strongly. So as much as I want to give them all this wisdom about what path to take and how to do it, and this is what it looks like, and if you put in this day, every day, you'll achieve your goals, but it's not real. Like that's not a realistic way to parent. And as hard as that is for me, that's probably the area I'm trying to improve on the best. Yeah. Does that make sense?
So is that a right now thing too? Like
it's
you come
day.
to this realization.
It's every day, real time.
Yeah. Did you come to this realization though, that it's okay to kind of let them live and learn the experience within like the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. as they've gotten older.
Like 10's the mark.
Yeah.
Sounds like 10's the
10.
mark.
I probably use 10. I probably can't.
10's the mark. I guess they are.
I guess 10. I keep saying 10. I don't know what is it about 10. Maybe it's double digits, or maybe it's that they're almost on the brink of middle school ish. Like what is that? Like 5th or 6th grade?
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I don't even know anymore. But like maybe it's that. But it probably is an arbitrary number. But all in all, I think the biggest realization and failures, or whatever you want to classify it as, that I've personally had as a parent, the simplest way to put it is, as much as you think your advice is really good and sound and comes from a place of experience and success and failure and all of those things, it makes sense in my brain to be like, I'll just tell you what you need to do. You do it and you will have great success. Like that to me is like 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
Why would you not take the advice? And when you look back on it, I'm like, because that's not the real world.
Yeah.
Everyone achieves what they achieve and goes through their own journey, most of the time through their own experiences.
Yeah.
And we can guide them, we can shape them, we can help kind of steer the path to give them some guardrails. But like, until they have that big failure or that big disappointment or that big success, what dad says, what mom says it's not nearly as impactful as that experience. And when you watch your kids have failure, it's like, I'm the king of like, well, if you just did what I said, you probably would have. I'm better at that. I'm a little better at that now. I'm still not where I probably need to be, but that's a huge conflict for me.
Yeah.
I think that
just being honest.
Yeah. Even though you see it as like, I'm a little bit better, I'm not where I want to be. To me, it still works out, because then your boys and your daughter, they grow up like us when our parents were hard on us. Like my dad was more tough love. I'm sure your dad was a ball coach. Like he was probably
tough.
The same way with you. Like you end up appreciating it later in life because you realize how rigid they were in some areas.
No doubt.
Even though our dads probably wish they were a little, like my dad's like, I wish I would have listened a little bit more to him, or been a little bit more empathetic.
The ability to reflect on things in hindsight is so powerful, right?
Yeah.
And what we all know now, and my appreciation for my parents, or my appreciation for how hard my dad was as our high school coach and what he put us through. Like at the time that I love it, when I was 16 and I had to be home at 9 o'clock because such and such.
And you wanted to eat chips.
I wanted to eat chips, and I wanted to be out with my friends at the carnival or whatever we were doing. And like, I look back on it now and I'm like, if I didn't learn those lessons early in my life, and there were probably times where I went up to my room pissed off and this isn't fair. The other kids get to do this. But now I look back and I'm like, my life's pretty good.
Yeah.
I can do whatever the hell I want now. And was it worth at 16 making a couple sacrifices, not going on spring break with your buddies as a senior because you had to stay home for track meet? And I can go back to Aruba anytime I want.
Yeah.
Now you don't go with your high school boys, which is a different animal, but that perspective is only earned through experience.
Yeah. And Sherm, I feel like I completely hijacked your question about the tech and social media coming in, because I'm understanding all of that. I would love to know, like, when did the conversations first start, as Sherm was asking, when those started coming to the household? I
think our kids got a cell phone, not like loaded up with everything. So the way we did it, and when I say we, like my wife drove the ship on all of this.
Let's go.
You wanted them to have a flip phone.
Yeah.
Give them a razor.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, if kids could go back to a razor, was there anything cooler than when you got your first razor?
They were the best.
And that thing slipped in that front pocket and it was this thin. You were like,
yes, man.
Oh, wait.
T9 texting.
I need another flip because that was clean.
I mean, so I think our kids got stuff. I will say, I don't think there was like a one size fits all. I don't have the exact dates, but I do think our two boys and daughter, I think they did get things at like relatively different times, all within the same span. I would say 5th, 6th grade was probably the window of when things started to be introduced. When they were younger, they each had like an iPad, but that had to be at the house. So they could like message friends or go on YouTube and watch videos and stuff, but it was like a home iPad that stayed at the house. When they actually walked out of the house with a phone in their pocket, it was probably 5th or 6th grade, but we were very particular about what was allowed on it. Like, I think they couldn't get, like, they've got certain access, like they were allowed to have Instagram Kids or whatever they have. They weren't allowed to post, and they could only follow people that we knew. Like that was our rule in the house. Like you can only follow people that mom and dad know, not people that you know, people that we know. So our friends' kids, your friends at school, kids on the team. So that was like our guardrails early. I can't imagine that rule is still being followed by. I can only imagine who my two boys follow on social media.
Not that bad of a rule though when you think about everybody that Greg knows.
It's a good dad hack.
That's a good dad hack.
We have to know him personally.
I'm legit. We're legitimately listening. Like I'm thinking like, okay, dude, this is going to be the game. The
one they all wanted that we held out the best on, they all have it now, but we held out pretty well on was Snapchat. I don't love it.
Yeah.
And nothing against the app itself. Snapchat and TikTok, the algorithms there are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And like the more you learn about it, and
now, again, are you doing this research yourself, like with your wife?
Yeah. I'm first to admit, like wife driving a lot of these decisions, and I look back and I'm like, really good decision. Like
Let's go.
You nailed that. I'm so glad I get to take half credit, but you nailed that whole timing. He was ready, she wasn't, whatever the case may be, and you have a great feel for like what the kids can handle and can't handle. That one gets a little challenging, right? Because it's the only way they communicate with their friends is like snapping each other and messaging through these apps. They don't text, they don't call, they don't FaceTime their friends, they don't face and text us. Everything's through these apps. So
they snap you.
I refuse to snap with my children. That's where I draw the line. I think my wife has Snap. I don't know if the kids actually snap her. I make them text me. And if they don't respond to my text, I'm like, we have two options. I can take your phone away, but you have your phone in your hand the entire day.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that when I text you, you don't respond.
Yeah.
So I have no patience for that. So I address that pretty clearly. But no, I refuse to snap with I know a lot of parents do. I'm not judging. I'm just speaking from my own perspective. I refuse to snap pictures with my children.
Yeah. You know, Greg's giving them when I was young, we had to be at the friend's house and call from that landline.
Yeah, we did.
To let you know we were safe. And you can't just text me back when you got your phone in the pocket.
And when you had your first girlfriend, you called the house line. And when Mr. Compton answered, hello, Mr. Compton, this is Greg. Is Carol home? She's not home. You want us to call her back? No, you actually don't have to call me back, sir. Like that shit, you talk about being a man?
Yeah. No, truly.
Call your middle school or high school girlfriend's landline.
Yeah.
And talk to mom and dad.
And just pray mom answers.
Pray mom answers.
Because if dad answers, immediate panic attack.
Yeah.
But like, I would love that a boy right now that'd be interested in dating my daughter would have to call imagine if they had to call my cell phone. Like a middle school boy called my cell phone to talk to Talbot.
That'd be sick.
It'd be amazing.
Is there prep that is in place for you mentally? Or steps that are going to have to happen when that first boy does want to take your daughter on a date?
Okay, so it goes back to your earlier question, like things that I thought of years ago that I'm different on now. I was that like tough guy dad. I probably was just saying it just to be that dad when the kids were little, but I was like, my daughter's never going to have a boyfriend. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Right? Like I always think of that Will Smith, Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys when he comes. Like I think every dad has that dream.
Ludicrous looking motherfuckers, ain't you?
I think every dad has that dream. Like they would love to meet their daughter's boyfriend at the door and be able to just go at him like that. But but when they were little, like it's your little girl. Oh, your daddy's your only boyfriend. Dad. The way I look at it now is very different. And my thought is, she's going to date someone. Most likely. Inevitably, she's going to date someone. Same thing with the boys. You could either make it that she goes and dates these boys around your back or in hiding or sneaking out and going to a friend's house, but then meeting up with the boy because you don't allow him over and you make her uncomfortable around boys and you make her feel insecure. At some point, she's going to want to have a boyfriend. And at one point, she's going to go on a date. Like that is the real world for all of us dads. Like no matter how well we want to talk tough, I would much rather that boy feel like he can come to my house and ring my doorbell, shake my hand, and take her out to dinner with no fear, with no intimidation. I can't believe I got to go to Greg's house. Like, I don't want that to be the experience for her. I don't want that to be the experience for the boy. Now, we're going to have high standards. We're going to have rules. We're going to have shit that needs to be abided by. But I don't want the relationship to have to be in fear, in awkwardness, because then she could either end up with guys that I would never want around my house anyway, because they're not people that hang out with my boys, or they're not people that. So she's going to date someone. So if it's a family friend, if it's your brother's friend, okay. I'd rather that than like some guy we don't know.
Yeah.
Some guy. So I've come around pretty good on that. She has not really had like a boyfriend yet, but the day is coming. And as long as she treats herself right, and as long as she has a lot of self-respect, and he treats her with a ton of respect and treats her right, like I'll be happy that day when she gets picked up to go out on a date with a boy. But like, if we say you got to be home at whatever time, she needs to be in the door.
Yeah.
Is there a world, Greg, where a guy might date your daughter to hang out with you? Like, I genuinely have that thought. Is there a world where that has crossed your mind yet?
That's an interesting question.
No question.
If Greg Olsen was the father of someone,
it's an interesting question. I guess anything's possible. The vast majority of the boys that like we circle with, because I have two boys that are relatively the same age, I've coached most of these boys since they were 5 years old in some team. Our general group of boys, especially at our school, but even some kids in town that don't go to our school that we just know through the teams and stuff over the years, unless she just goes completely outside of that pool, I guess maybe. But I do think for a lot of these boys that have known me as coach and have known me as Tate and TJ's dad for years, and we've been through football practices and long days and heat and workouts, and they know me a little bit more on that side with the boys. I do think whatever boy is like, I'm interested in dating Talbot, like he's going to have to really like her. Because I think to like come over and like experience a different side of our house and a different side, have dinner with us at the kitchen table. Like, I'm going to give that kid a lot of credit, because that's going to be, and unless it's some stranger boy, which hopefully it's not, one of these boys is going to have a long-standing relationship with our family, with our sons. And it's going to be a little different sitting with your two buddies at the kitchen table and your former Pop Warner football coach at the head of the table eating mashed potatoes, you know?
Yeah.
Is
there a conversation you envision having with the first one who wants to date your daughter? Because as I'm listening to you, I feel like when you say I'm coming around, I feel like you're giving a lot of respect to the situation. And I would almost assume that at some point, whether they try and push a boundary or whatever, you're going to want that respect to be reciprocated, because you are trying to, do as well as you can. Yeah. Is there not like a tone setter, but is there a conversation you envision when that first boy comes, or the first one that feels like, hey, this could be serious. This could lead to something serious. Yeah, maybe in the high school dating world.
Come high school, right? Yeah. So come high school when things are a little bit more serious, especially nowadays, like some of these high school relationships, like some of our older friends, our friends with older kids have, like some of these relationships in high school nowadays are very serious, like much more serious than like what a high school boyfriend girlfriend situation was like when we were growing up. They go on trips together, they travel together, they're at each other's houses like on weekday nights. Like the thought of when I was in high school, like having your girlfriend over on a Wednesday. Yeah. Like, no, you saw your friends and your girlfriend, boyfriends on the weekends after the football game on Friday night. You'd go out to dinner. Right? Like it was a weekend thing. Yeah, wear your jacket.
Wearing the Letterman.
Hopefully you set a couple tutties. But like, so that, again, just with time, things evolve. I guess the simplest way I would try to answer it, and again, I'm anticipating what I'm going to do. I have not had to do any of this stuff yet. Hopefully we've done a nice job with our sons and daughters that like the person they choose to enter into a relationship with, they already apply their own high standards, right? Like someone who treats them good. Hopefully we taught them like what that looks like. What does a relationship look like? What does it mean to look after someone else more than you look after your own self-interest? Like, can we start introducing those early, like selfless principles that then they can apply to someone who also shares those said principles? Hopefully they drive those high standards and we don't have to be like the big tone setter. I feel like if I have to like set the tone of like how this boy is going to treat my daughter and it's got to come out of fear of me, that's probably not the best situation. Like hopefully this guy wants to treat my daughter right. Yeah. Because she demands it. Yeah. Right. Like she's earned that, and the way she carries herself and the way she treats him and the way she treats herself and the way she sets her boundaries and sets her expectations. Hopefully the guy meets her standards and it's not like, oh man, I'm only going to be nice to her because it's Greg's daughter. I don't want any of that to ever be the case, but we got to teach our kids, like, what do those relationships look like? And we can try to do it, through your own relationships in your house, which are, challenging and have ups and downs and all that. But hopefully it starts with them. And then obviously if there's things that need to be addressed and expectations that need to be put on top of that, like that's where as parents, we get involved. But
yeah, I mean, there's going to be a time where it's like, she's going to be getting in the car with somebody else to go on their first date. And she's going to be in somebody else's, not like a buddy's vehicle or a parent's vehicle. It's going to be a 16-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And he could be he's probably going to be awesome, but I'm sure there's going to be something like,
boy.
You're getting in the car now. Like my daughter's getting in the car with
I'm going to definitely have a little parting message.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, like good decisions here. There's no more prized possession in the world than that little lady in the front seat. Like phone rings down, like she's home at a certain time. Like, let's keep our shit together. Like, but there's such an element of like willing parenting. Fuck, I'm sitting here like I have all these answers because I don't know shit.
I know, I can't wait when you come on years from now.
Like I guess
we're like, parenting, so how'd that go?
And I'm like, everything, like most times I'm probably gonna be like everything I thought it was gonna be, it was the complete opposite. You know what I mean? Like everything that I envisioned in my brain, disregard everything I said because it's all wrong.
Yeah.
I think there is an element to parenting where sometimes you just have to step back and say, we trust you. Like, we trust you to make good decisions. And until you burn that trust, we'll reconsider what we're allowed and not allowed to do. But like, they're going to get in the car with teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to get in the car with boys. They're going to get in the car with girls. They're going to go to parties. They're going to do it. You hope to God that you've taught them some ability to make good decisions. And 16-year-old decisions look a lot different than 40-year-old decisions. And we were all in those places at one time too. And it's very hard for me to sit here and say that because I want to control every situation. It's just my personality. But the reality is I'm not going to follow them to high school parties. And I'm not going to sit in the back seat when she goes on a date. And
we've had a couple dad hacks come in. And I think this one's a good one. When they come home from the date, you're just outside doing yard work while they pull in the driveway. It might be 10 p.m. at night, but you're just outside doing yard work
off the driveway.
Yeah. Because
you're home already? I lost track of time.
Yeah, think about when you come home with your girlfriend, you're sitting in the driveway. You don't want any hanky-panky going on. Dad's outside in the yard doing yard work. He's not going to move. Like, I got to go in.
It's not inappropriate. Inside. It's not menacing like a shotgun on the porch. You're just doing a little garden.
Yeah, I didn't even know what time you guys were coming home. It just I've been so busy being a dad all day, I haven't had time to blow the leaves.
Yeah. You're like, Dad, you never mow the yard. What are you doing?
Power washing the front steps at 10:30 on a Saturday?
Yeah, they're filthy.
Have you seen the mildew? Have you seen the moss your mother lets grow between the cracks? It's embarrassing. Can't have your boyfriend drop you off with weeds in the cement.
That would 100% work on me, by the way. Just think of myself as a teenager and rolling up. I would probably even have more respect for the dad and be like, dude, he's always on it. Like, this
guy's a dog.
Yeah,
and like, hopefully
it's creative enough to where you're like, I just got to tip my cap to him. Like he's on it.
And hopefully at this time, like you got some peptides and some tea. You're looking jacked and maybe you're wearing like a sleeveless. Hey, I'll tell you one thing though, that I will never go back off this rule. There's no like opposite sexes in bedrooms. Now, I also don't want them in the basement. So basements to me, bad news.
You've been in all the games,
Everyone knows
what played all the games as a guy.
We all know what that looks like. So like, I got to figure out in my head, okay, high school boyfriend, high school girlfriends, whatever, comes over the house for the boys. Like, I know they don't want to sit on the couch and watch TV with us.
But you break it down, it's like, well, you got
where are you going? You got a basement and you got a bedroom. We sure as hell ain't going in the bedrooms. Do we let them go in the basement? Like, I almost feel like if you had like a TV room, like on the first floor, that doesn't feel as bad as the basement has a bad connotation. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Again,
so where do they go? I haven't figured this one out. If you want them at your house, where do they go that they can like be teenagers and they can hang and watch a movie and whatever, but like, you're not sitting in your bedroom. That is a non-negotiable. Where do they go?
Is your basement?
It's above ground. Oh. Does that count?
Yeah.
Does that make it a little bit better?
That makes it better.
Is there a TV like on a back porch somewhere?
There is.
That's always like,
no doubt.
I feel like guys, back porch feels safe.
We've all been young men.
Yeah.
Even when you're going in your girlfriend's house, and they got, if dad doesn't allow them to go into the bedroom, you're like, okay, you check the box. We're not going to be allowed to go in the bedroom. How do you figure this out as a young male? Like, this is what goes through our mind.
Get it. So and
then if you go down the basement, if it's a narrow hallway going down to where you got to turn left to get to the TV room, you're thinking there's enough time to where you could hear something coming down. Like, this is instinctively how the male brain operates.
Oh, I'm well aware. And now apply all those thoughts to your daughter, and you wonder why I want to lock her in the basement.
Yeah.
I take back every single thing I've said for the last 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is real shit that I think about, where I don't have the answer.
Only I haven't been to your basement. I don't know.
It's fairly open.
The next time I fly to Charlotte, I'll go over.
Can you come scope?
We can just do a walkthrough.
We can do a security check.
You sit on the couch. I'll come down. Let me know how loud I need to stomp.
How from when you first heard my footstep, how much time till you saw my body?
Yes.
And we're timing it. I'm writing it in a journal.
Yeah.
And then we're marking different. All right, you guys can sit in this couch. This room's too far removed. That's an X.
Greg needs to be the one walking down the stairs, and we need to be cuddled on the couch under the same blanket.
Can we recreate that?
See if you can kind of get readjusted.
Shave off a few
How you doing, Mr. Olsen?
Why is the blanket? You're in completely red face.
Yeah,
you've been making out for an hour.
Yeah, Greg's like, why are you guys doing this? This is my daughter. We're like, Greg, we've got to give you real world examples.
No, it's real.
This is how we were, bro.
No, I think there might be a business there. Do you guys go around houses and scope out? That's not a bad idea. You know how people do security checks?
Yeah.
And they check your windows and your shrubs, and you don't want to cover certain areas of egress. And there could be a company that goes around and gives you a report on your household for teenage kids. All right, in our opinion, we might be onto something here.
Yeah.
These are the rooms that you can safely allow access. These are the rooms that you should not allow access.
Greg, these are your danger zones right here. These are your corners that you need to watch.
It's not a bad idea.
You think dating. Instead of you think sports, we just put dating on the end.
Yeah.
I feel we're onto something.
There's something there.
But I think about that a lot.
There is.
And then you got to apply the same logic to who they're dating. Do they have any rules?
Yeah.
Are they allowed anywhere? If they are allowed anywhere, do I get involved? Do you get it? What are the rules there? I don't want to tell another man how to run his house, but you got my daughter at your house, homeboy.
Yeah. I do feel
I don't know. What do you do?
There's got to be some type of relationship that you have to form so you guys can be aligned and on the same page. Buddy, we know the game.
You take them golfing and be hey,
I think
sit down. We got to talk.
Golf is really good.
You got a good crew. You take them out to golf. It's you. It's Keekly. It's Paul Swan.
I just tell Swan to put him in a headlock.
Yeah.
Swan's Indian leg wrestling.
Yeah.
But that shit's real.
Yeah, man.
And Greg, just because we are trying to hit a good time for you,
we get lost in the sauce.
We could get lost in the sauce.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good.
We got a couple more minutes.
Okay, cool.
What things do we need to hit? Crack a cold one. I do want to ask a question that somebody had for Greg.
Yes, I thought it'd be fun if we hit the questions for Greg. We reached out to some of our listeners.
Let's do it.
They got some nice, easy, fun questions for you.
Okay, here we go. This one is from BBat104 on Discord. As a sports dad, what's the top 3 items Greg has in his survival kit, whether it's on game day, for practice training, or raising athletes at home? So these are necessities.
Yeah. Number 1 is my shoe choice. I'll spend countless hours a day on my feet, most of the time in the heat of North Carolina. A lot of our stuff's in the summer and it's pretty warm all year round. So my shoe choice every day is critical. If I can't be on my feet all day and my feet ended my career. So I'm very sensitive to what I put on my feet. So number 1 is shoe choice. And I have 3 pairs of shoes. Shout out OnCloud, not a sponsor. Buy them all.
Yeah, but great shoes.
But great shoes.
No
They've
shout
changed
outs,
my career,
good
but not a plug. I have 0 relationship with OnCloud, for the record. I have 3 pairs of OnCloud shoes in any given rotation. I have a dirty pair of OnCloud sneakers.
Yep.
I have a less dirty pair of OnCloud sneakers, and I have a relatively dressy that I would wear with pants.
Oh, the street shoe.
They're they're flat bottom, they're sneakers, but they're flat bottom, low. They're a little bit more dressy.
They
I wear them
cool.
with jeans or
the
chinos or whatever. As the clean normal sneakers, over time become the dirty ones. Then I buy a new pair of clean ones, and then they just cycle their way through. So when I leave the house, mental check, am I going to practice? Am I going to grind on the field all day? Dirty on clouds all day long. And then I make my decisions from there. So I got 3 shoes in the rotation. That's number 1. Number 2.
My dad's fist bumping, by the way. My dad is a big believer.
When my kids leave, and this is, we could go on and on. Like my kids love leaving the house with poor footwear. It's a teenage thing.
Yeah.
Like we'll go to like a baseball game, say we're going to like the Charlotte Knights, which is like a minor league baseball team uptown. They'll walk out of the house in like flip-flops. And I'm like,
swag, man.
No, but I'm like,
what are we doing?
Sneakers. Like, what happens if all of a sudden you get called to run the bases at the 7th inning stretch? Like, that's how my mind is. I'm like, you never know when a basketball game breaks out and you got bad shoes
You're
on.
not ready for opportunity.
You're not ready. Like, what if all of a sudden it's like, we need a kid to come and catch a ball in center field for season tickets and you're wearing flip-flops? They wear flip-flops and Crocs. There's times they've gone to school with no shoes on. It's a very weird thing. Anyway, to answer your question, shoes, number 1. If I'm going to, like, we do a lot of baseball with the boys, I have a bucket in my car. So I have to have a bucket of baseballs at all time. Number 1, you never know when you got to do flips.
Never know.
But more importantly, it's my chair. That's what I sit on, carry it around, put it down. That's my chair, whether I'm coaching or just as a parent. So I got my bucket at all times.
Let's get some soft toss in.
Never know when you need soft toss. Never know when you need a seat.
Yeah.
Especially if your shoes are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Number 3, because there's a lot that I have on me at all times, but those are probably the 2 biggest ones.
A good hat. I feel like you have
I only
strong
wear
hat
hats.
game.
Yeah.
Greg
Strong, that's a great one. So
hat and shades.
Yeah.
The shades I'm more hit or miss, but there's 100% of the time if you see me outside at any of the kids' sports stuff, I got a hat on.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a hat you're willing to, that's a really good call. It's got to be a hat you're willing to get sweaty. So I have certain hats at home that if I know there's any chance, like my wife wants me to walk the dog with her, it's got to be a sweat hat.
Oh yeah.
And then there's hats that you might get them a little damp, but like they're not going to be sweat through because you got to keep those nice.
Yep.
So I have sweat hats, I have casual hats, and then like nicer hats that you know you're not going to mess up. So yeah, good hat, good shoes, and I got to have my bucket.
Got to have the bucket.
And then I got a question here for you. I thought it'd be fun if you read it. And we shout the tag at the top.
All right, here we go. Joe _, is that what you call those?
Yes.
Yeah. Underscore.
You're crushing.
They're still called the.
All right, so on Instagram, this is Joe _Sarkos91 Instagram. He has Instagram in his handle. Like
that just means it's from Instagram.
So is that last underscore?
Joe _Sarkos91.
Got it. All right, so Joe, I'm not a great social media guy. Joe _. I was like, this guy has Instagram in his handle.
Renaming my entire naming convention. Like my entire process is gone now. I gotta redo it.
Does Joe Sarkos have multiple handles, but he just can't keep them all straight? So he labels them like _TikTok, _Snap. Joe Sarkos. We got it. Anyway. All right. Question by Joe _Sarkos91. It's written better here. What is the biggest dad win and dad fail you've experienced? We've have a soon to be error on the grammar.
This is good.
This is good.
Because I do that, and everybody like
no, it's not.
The dumb brain.
It's grammatically incorrect, but it's fine.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Saved, yeah.
We have, not we've have. So the apostrophe VE is the contraction for the word have.
Yes.
So we don't need weave and have. They're both the same word.
But anyway, they're doubling up.
Anyway. We have a soon-to-be 3-year-old, quote, parentheses, Noah, and a soon-to-be 1-year-old, Violet. So I've had a lot of both. My biggest dad win.
This is probably when the missus was wrong on something. She left.
The
tip of the spear, and you're kind of like, hey, I was kind of right on that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You know what's amazing? I'm thinking so hard. I haven't had that. I've had way less wins than right now you would think. I'm really playing this up like, oh my God, I got a laundry list. I have a lot more fails.
What about biggest win from this week with your daughter?
All right, biggest win this week. I think the biggest win this week was like my daughter, the first night going in, getting to like walk that like little like mini red carpet of the first night, and like everyone takes a picture with their date. They're +1. And like, and probably is the only time I've ever done any like event with just her without my wife or without the boys. So just the two of us, like she got all dressed up, did her hair, couldn't help her much. But she did her hair, did her little makeup routine. She looked cute in her little dress, walked in together, got to stand in front of the step and repeat, and like take a picture. And immediately after she's like, Dad, will you send that to me? And I was like, she wants to share this.
That's a crack a cold one. That's a big win.
She wanted to share it. Like she thought it was cool to share a picture of her and her dad. So like that felt good.
Greg, that's a huge win.
It's a huge win.
Ooh, guys, we know what that sound is. That is Olipop. I got one of their new flavors, blackberry vanilla, right here in front of me. We also have our raspberry sherbet right there in front of Will. We're crazy about these new flavors. We're really crazy about any and all of the flavors. Will's also got the crisp apple. Is that a classic grape I see?
Yeah, dude, the new designs. I don't know. The sickos, the Olipop sickos out there are going to understand these are new designs. Sleek, badass.
They're getting all the cans refreshed. Not that they needed them, but these new logos, these new
I like the stronger color.
Yeah. And a metallic-y sheen to it.
Yeah.
Olipop's cooking with gas.
Yeah, tell them how they're going to get a free one.
Well, they've been cooking with gas, as Will just said. You can get any Olipop. You get 2 flavors. Doesn't matter. Mix or match. You will get one for free. That's buy any 2 cans of Olipop in store, and they will pay you back for one. Works on any flavor at any retailer. Go to drinkolipop.com/BWTB to redeem. And Olipop is sold online at drinkolipop.com and Amazon, and available in the soda aisle with the chilled beverages at thousands of retailers nationwide, including Walmart and Target.
Amen.
PT Sickos. Let's get back to Greg Olsen.
For your teenage daughter to want to spend time with you in those settings, as silly as it sounds, and I think for people that have younger kids, like it probably sounds like a given.
Yeah.
It's not a given. So I'll take any of those wins that I can get. One-on-one time when you have multiple kids is super special. And I need to do a better job making sure that one-on-one time is not always doing things that I want to do when I want to do it and they just tag along, but also being like, what do you want to do on your free time? Even if it's something I wouldn't necessarily be interested in. I think that's important. I don't always do that, but I think that's important and something I'm working on.
And we can skip biggest dad loss that was in that question, and just for time purposes, to close this out, what
I have one more.
Do we have one more?
Think would be sick.
Let's hear it.
Chloro. Do your kids take any supplements? And if so, what and at what age did they start?
They do not take any supplements.
What grade is your oldest?
He'll be a rising freshman.
Okay, and he's not on anything yet?
Nope.
My old man had me on creatine in middle school.
Any colostrum?
Sorry?
Colostrum?
Isn't colostrum from like breast milk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not since they were babies,
he ain't taking creatine, he ain't taking nothing.
No.
Yeah. I was wondering if you had
I'm not knocking it. We have a lot of friends whose kids are on supplements and stuff. And I think supplements has an interesting rap. Like, I don't think there's any problems with like having a protein shake. We definitely, my dad made us tons of like protein shakes when we were in middle school and high school. We would pound. You remember Carnation Instant Breakfast?
Yes.
And it was like that powder and you'd mix it with the milk. And my dad would just make us like drink it until we were
got to get the weight on. Got to get the muscle up.
I was thin and skinny as a young kid. Not so much anymore. But like I would classify like supplements. Like my dad in high school made us pack 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every single day to go to school. We throw them in our backpack. And that was like our mid-morning and late afternoon snack before practice. In today's day and age, you would get it in like a fancy protein bar or a shake or something. But that's a supplement. It's a calorie dense, protein rich snack.
Yeah.
And
you got your boy on some snacks.
We try to have them bring like whether they're protein bars or just, there's a bazillion of them. And once they find some that we like, we just try to fill up the drawers at home. And instead of grabbing a bag of Cheez-Its or a bag of Reese's candy,
So more
see
so
something decent. So, but we're not taking like pills. We're not doing like
no powders. No injections.
We're thinking about the injections. More so dad. Dad.
Yeah. So S.CLOR on Instagram. Thank you for the question. It sounds like zero supplements.
As of this moment, all of our nutrition is coming through what we eat.
I love that.
You should check out the monohydrate.
We and check out the colostrum too. Cal colostrum. That's where it's at. For just final words, final thoughts, you got two guys here with kids all under 5. Do you have any advice?
I feel like I've given, for a guy that doesn't know a lot, I feel like I've offered a lot of advice. I think in closing, the best way I could summarize my first 15 years of parenting, and I don't know what the next stage looks like. I've never had a high school kid yet. So we'll tackle that when we get there with my oldest. I'll have a high school kid in 6 months. So I'm sure that'll change a lot. I think the biggest advice that I would offer is mostly like anything in my life, like through all the shit that I've done wrong. So like enjoy them, love on them, embrace all the moments that you get. Like even we're all in such a hurry to like go to the next thing. And that was always my personality. Like I was always thinking, what's next? What's next? It's never good enough. It's never good enough. Like don't apply those standards to your own kids because just let them be. Like let them experience life, give them guidance, give them advice. Tell them when they're wrong, be very honest with them, good and bad, but they're going to mess up. And you have to give yourself a little grace. You have to give them a little bit grace. Don't look at their failures like your failures. I think that sometimes is hard, right? Like we all look at someone that we're responsible for and you love so much with every ounce of your soul. And when things don't go their way, like you take it personal and you're like, I'm failing. I'm doing a bad job as a parent. If I did better, they would be better. You know, all kids are going to screw up. All kids are going to have bad days. Like give yourself a little grace, give them a little grace. I have not always been good at that. But man, just enjoy special moments with them, love them because I'm 3 years away from my first one leaving college and who knows if they ever come back. And then 5 years from my 2 leaving college, I'm 5 years away from having no kids in my house. So as busy as the days are, think about that, right? Like as busy as our days are and as frustrating at times and all the lives that we live, which are so busy, and I'm 5 years away from all 3 of my kids being out of the house and over 18. And whether they ever come home, you hope they don't come home. Maybe they do. Hopefully they want to come visit you. But that's a scary part. Like your time with your kids, you get 18 years of it guaranteed. And 15 of them for my oldest is already done.
5 summers left.
5, dude. Well, we thank you, Greg. I hate that it feels like we're ushering him out, but I just know he's got a fun golf tournament to get to.
He's got things to do.
TEU golf outing. I could sit here and talk about all the things that I've done wrong in parenting all day. So this is actually a great pod for me to get on.
Yes.
It's very therapeutic, isn't it? To like just shoot shit with the boys and talk about all the things you don't know anything about, some things you think you know about, and things that you know virtually will completely fuck up. It's kind of a very freeing experience, right? You get ahead of it.
We love it.
We're positioned as we're not experts. We have no clue what the hell's going on, but we're just going to talk about what's happening. And if I get this wrong, don't hold it against me because I told you I was going to screw it up. So I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. Every week we'll come in with an APR report or after pod report from our wives, like, because our wives will listen. Yeah. We'll screw stories up. And like, you didn't tell that correctly, so we'll have to correct the record.
I love that.
So we're just here. It's just all therapy for the dads.
When my wife listens to me like do these pods where I like am just honest, she's like, I appreciate your honesty. I think that sometimes you should listen to yourself more. I'm like, yeah, you're right. She's like, you have great advice. Maybe sometimes you should adhere to it. Yeah. I'm like, you're 100% right.
Dude, Greg, you are the man. I'm thankful that we've gotten to know each other through the media cycle.
Yeah, man.
Playing against each other from one of those games. We have an awesome story about it. You can go check it out. We talked about it numerous times. But you're the man. Thank you for taking time.
Appreciate you guys. This was fun.
In all the Tight End U stuff to come hang on For the Dads.
Love it. You guys are the best, man. Appreciate you.
Take out the trash.